Good morning, everybody. It's me, your handsome lad Updatos here, and it's time to talk about the future. With Minecraft Live and the big reveal of 1.21 at this point literally just around the corner, today we're going to be taking a look at 30 updates that could be the next update. For the most part, for our list today, a lot of these updates are heavily based in reality. We've got one goal: no end update. You see, it's not that I don't think there'll be an end update, or even that I don't want an end update. It's just too easy. So with that introduction out of the way, that brings us to update number 1. The update? It's all over my inventory. The bundle. For literally years now, since like 2020 or something, the bundle has been in development. Take into account the fact that actually relatively recently, a brand new version of the bundle popped up inside of some of Minecraft Bedrock Edition's files. Now, while it looks like it might finally be time, at long last. Next up, laddies, we're throwing it back to a time that is, well, I was gonna say a simpler time, but it wasn't really simpler. 2020, or at least like, that was the last time there was one of these things that dropped. The thing that dropped? An experimental combat update snapshot. You see, back in the day, the devs liked the idea of reworking combat. After all, as it stands right now, it's completely different on Minecraft, Java, and Bedrock. That's pretty weird. The devs were going to update combat and make it the same everywhere, with new mechanics like weapon reach and some new enchantments. With some of the combat updates that took place in 1.20.2, I can't help but wonder, is it finally time? Dangione, my boy, my sweet boy. Look how it massacred my boy. This past summer, a new leaker popped up on the scene and things were starting to look really interesting. That is, until this image was tweeted from Dangione. Then it all ended real quick. The OG screenshot that was shot at had a crafting table, a hopper on top of it, and then redstone wires going into it. It almost seems like this is a setup for like automatic crafting or something. To be honest, one of the things I'm most excited for about Minecraft Live in a couple weeks here is finding out if any of those Dangione leaks were actually true. Like, is this finally happening? Hey, you know what, lads? While we're at it, talking about Dangione and interesting Minecraft leaks, there was this leak right here. It's not clear at all as to what this thing actually is, but I can't help but wonder, is it the old Skulk Jaw? An original concept for part of the Deep Dark update that just never made it into the game. Now that we the players, the community has grown a little bit more accustomed to the challenge inside of the Deep Dark biome, maybe it's time they up the difficulty a little bit more. 2 words here: banner maps. Over the past couple of updates, the devs have made great strides when it comes to version parity. At this point, one of the biggest lacking parity differences is banner maps. In a Minecraft 1.21 update that is already potentially updating villagers and adding new maps to the game, I think it's finally time we take a look at the classic map and maybe get those banners working on this thing. With the devs' track record of squashing parity differences, I would say this is a pretty safe guess. And speaking of safe guesses, the Ancient City. Depending on your definition of Minecraft 1.21 updates, we could stretch it and say that it's already confirmed to be updated with more mending books spawning inside of this thing. But there has to be more to that thing, right? One of my personal favorite theories when it comes to the Ancient City is the theory that this stuff was added back in 1.19 and was a whole new type of challenge to the game with like sneaking and trying to be silent and everything like that. Fast forward 1 year to Minecraft Trails and Tales with the Amethyst Skulk sensor, and they're continuing to update it. Ever since this place was added to Minecraft, it's always seemed like there's meant to maybe be a little bit more to it. Specifically that strange portal in the middle. Remember that in the Minecraft Live announcement trailer, there was a ton of focus on this Deep Dark portal thing and the Deep Dark in general. And lads, it sure looks like we could be in for the deepest and darkest update ever. Now, of course, one of my favorite ideas for this potential Deep Dark update is to make this thing a new portal, a gateway to a brand new dimension. A brand new, potentially ancient dimension, maybe with old structures, big structures, and of course a whole lot of challenge. But that's just one of the theories. Another theory is that this portal, instead of sending it to a new dimension, could be that it just like, maybe sends you from one ancient city to another one. To be honest, I really hope that's not the case here. That'll be one of the biggest letdowns of all time. Hopefully we know a little bit more in just a few weeks. Because of things the devs themselves have said before, when one update is being released, they already have the next few ones planned. This one throws us back 4 years at this point. The Badlands biome. And actually, super interestingly, the 2019 biome vote that had the mountains biome and the swamp biome. The mountains biome would go on to win that year's fan vote and lead to a massive caves and glyphs update. So that's a mountains biome, check done, out of the way. The swamp biome in 1.19, check done, out of the way. Is it finally time for the Badlands? So the Badlands biome. Personally, I think it's really interesting that they ever even let us vote on this biome because I kind of think it's really fire as is. The first thing that we know about a future Badlands update confirmed out of the 3 features is tumbleweed. Tumbleweed could potentially be a brand new ambient crop or just brand new crop in general. Maybe you plant it on farmland, maybe it just grows randomly throughout this biome. If we go ahead and use a little bit of bone meal, ooh, it's beautiful. Now, tumbleweed's whole thing is that it, like, blows around inside the world. I have no clue how in the world they would actually implement that, because there's no, like, wind system or anything like that in Minecraft. But tumbleweed. At the least, I guess it could be like a new dead bush variant or something. The second part of the now ancient biome vote involved a brand new type of cactus, the prickly pear cactus. The prickly pear cactus is one of my favorite ideas because not only does this model look like so fire, like it's really interesting looking, but it could of course be a brand new type of fruit. Maybe the next time you find yourself inside of your local Badlands biome, you'd be able to walk over to this thing and pick the fruit that's growing on the top. And last but not least, for this biome vote, the coolest thing out of all of them, vultures. Vultures. If the Badlands biome gets updated, or when it does, vultures will be added to the game. From the announcement trailer of the Badlands biome and the vultures and everything like that, it sure seemed like the vulture would be like finding loot and circling around in the sky when there's loot on the ground. Maybe it would swoop down and like take the loot and go up to the sky. You'd have to like... Well, I don't want to say what you have to do to get the loot back, actually. That's terribly inhumane. When they updated the mountains, they added the goat. When they updated the swamp, they added the frog. When they update the Badlands biome, the vulture will come to Minecraft, and honestly, I can't wait for this one. I think the vulture and the idea of birds in the sky in general, that's gonna be beautiful. And so laddies, just like that, we're 1/3 of the way through the list today. 2 things. Down below this video, there's a like button. Tap it. And what would you like to see in 1.21? You let me know down below. And hey, vulture, come back over here because you're kind of the perfect lead-in for this next one. Ambiance, vibes. Imagine how vibey it would be to see like birds flying around in the sky. That would add a lot of ambiance to the game. About a month ago, when we were talking about everything that we know about Minecraft 1.21 so far, we did a little bit of a deep dive into some of the shorts that the Minecraft YouTube channel has posted. One of the shorts from a dev Q&A from months and months ago was all about adding more atmosphere to Minecraft. In the short right here, the devs were asked if they would ever come back around to other biomes, kind of like they did in the Nether update, and add more vibes to them. The devs said absolutely, we would like to do that. With all the amazing biome work that has gone down over the past few years, including the beautifully amazing cherry blossom biome inside of 1.20, at this point, a lot of the older Minecraft biomes that have been in the game for years could use like a vibe increase or something. Imagine a flower, kind of like the spore blossom that would spawn in the jungle, letting particles out all over the place. Imagine a birch forest biome, or actually, correction, you don't even need to imagine a vibey birch forest biome. Maybe this old abandoned concept art could come back around. Next up, we've got another one that I will consider a pretty surefire one. Currently, right now, inside of Minecraft 1.20.2, and of course you can't forget Minecraft Bedrock 1.20.30 as well, we've got a whole lot of villager experimental updates. Right now, so far, they've updated the armor, the librarian, and the cartographer with brand new traits, as well as the wandering trader. Only time will tell for sure, but this definitely feels like it's part of a greater villager revamp. I wouldn't be surprised to see every villager, or at least almost all of them, get updates inside of 1.21. 5 years. I can't believe it. It's been 5 years. The Savannah biome is another one of those wonderful biomes that is due for an update. The first big thing that will come to the game inside of a Savannah update is a brand new type of tree, the baobab tree. How it is right now, all across the Savannah biome, it's a little bit repetitive. You have acacia tree, and another acacia tree. I really love the vibes inside of these old biome vote trailers. Like, they made the biomes look so full and dense. Look at how massive the baobab tree will be. The ostrich. Oh my god, the ostrich. This thing, look at that thing. It's walking around over there. Just like the vulture, it's another type of bird. Just like how it happened with frogs eventually for the swamp biome. When the Savannah gets updated, ostriches would be added to the game. One of my favorite fan ideas for the ostrich is being able to equip a saddle on this thing and zoom across the Savannah biome, like pretty quickly. And finally, last and definitely not least for a Savannah update, termites and termite mounds. Now, it's not very clear what a termite and a termite mound really would actually do, but I feel like it could be a way to automate the stripped wood. Like, imagine if a termite mound was relatively close to a tree, the termites over time would like go over to the tree and strip the logs on their own, fully naturally. For me, that feature alone puts this Savannah biome and all of its updates inside of it pretty high up on the list of updates I would love to see in this next update. In a change we all know and probably love, the Desert Pyramid got a big update inside of 1.20, as well as a lot of other structures. And a lot of the structures, we're talking new loot, and in the case of the Desert Pyramid, we're even talking a brand new room. But what about the forgotten ones? The ones that have been the same forever? Now, of course, in Minecraft, you can throw around a lot of old structures that are kind of out of date feeling, like the Stronghold, the Mineshaft, but the biggest one to me is the Witch Hut, the Swamp Hut. It definitely feels like there could be a whole lot more to this thing. I mean, take a look at the Pillager Outpost and how cool that is. And the Witch just gets a tiny building with a black cat? Come on, it ain't 2009 no more. Villages and villagers, they're one of the biggest parts of Minecraft. In my mind, this one kind of goes hand in hand with some of those villager updates that they're already working on for Minecraft 1.21. Within a lot of those new villager updates, villagers are getting way more biome locked and customized than ever before. On one hand, if you play in like a single biome type thing or something, or you're just like not near any of the other biomes, it could make things a little bit more difficult. But on the other hand, taking specific traits and putting them in specific biomes, well, of course, different traits and different biomes means if the devs added a new biome, you'd have even more new traits. This is one of my favorite things about these villager updates, and I feel like it's kind of going unmentioned. If a lot of the stuff is biome locked, the devs could always add more villagers in different biomes and have new traits that are available. Of course, we could theorize all day long on what a villager inside of the Mushroom Island biome would be like, what a forest villager would be like, or heck, maybe at the least, please finally do it, a proper meadow village and villager. In last year's mob vote, we were so close to the first Mineshaft update in literally years. In a different timeline, things went a little bit differently, and a little guy called the Rascal ends up getting added to the game. The Rascal, just like with any of these other past votes, the devs have said that they're not gone forever. Now, the Rascal's whole thing was, to be honest, a really interesting concept where basically you play like hide and seek inside of the mineshaft and find the Rascal. Eventually, after you find the Rascal somewhere, where'd you go? Eventually, after a little bit of searching, after you find the Rascal somewhere and catch up to it, if you can find this thing and catch up to it, you would win a little game and basically get a little prize. Now, one of the big things that it looked like you were going to be able to get from the Rascal was Enchanted Pickaxe, specifically Iron Enchanted Pickaxe. Now, earlier this year, when the devs kicked off all of the villager updates, they kind of added that functionality into the Wandering Trader. Clearly, it's an idea the devs seem to really have loved. Who knows? I mean, you never know. Maybe there is hope for the Rascal after all. And speaking of mob votes, in literally just a couple days' time, the mob vote mobs will be revealed for this year's mob vote. 2 years in a row now, the devs have tried so hard to give us a new golem. Based off of the past and what the devs have tried desperately to get us to add to the game for years now, maybe 1.21 is finally the update where they take it into their own hands and just add a new golem built into the update. Now, for the type of golem that it could be, the possibilities are endless. Check out this video next after this one for 18 different golems that it could be. Alright, so this one. Look, I'm not saying that I want this one to happen. In fact, the opposite. I hope this will never happen. Take into account what the devs did inside of Minecraft 1.20 with netherite, making it way harder to get, and who knows, maybe 1.20 is finally time. 1.21, the devs have said specifically that they don't exactly love the idea of farming mobs on top of the nether roof. Could now finally be the time they remove that? And another super intriguing, not so cryptic short the devs posted months ago. Do you have plan for adding a new boss? And then the villager takes it away. So the short saying they definitely have plans for a new Minecraft boss, that was posted in the middle of the Minecraft Trails and Tales development cycle. Of course, fast forward, as we know, there is no new boss in Trails and Tales Minecraft, but they have been trying to make the game a little bit more challenging and difficult, and a new boss is the best way to do that. The Caves and Cliffs update. As a whole, a beautiful upgrade to Minecraft. Obviously, the game has never been the same since then. Zooming in a little bit closer to the details though, it was a little bit of a messy update. I've always thought it's weird that since the Caves and Cliffs update, we basically have a total of 3 cave biomes in the entire game. They came back around and added the Deep Dark biome to the game. But other than that, we've only got the Lush Caves and the Dripstone Caves. Take into account the large amount of biomes that we have in Minecraft's overworld, and it definitely seems like the caves should have a little bit more. If you want to take a look at all sectors of the game and talk about how they look, the Nether, of course, check it's beautiful, even years after the Nether update. The overworld, like on the surface, they got a lot of different biomes, it's pretty cool. The end? Well, you know my rule. What did I say about the end earlier? The caves. What they did with the lush caves and the dripstone caves and the deep dark biome, oh, is beautiful. With caves existing literally all over the world, and there's only like 3 biomes right now. There's so much potential for more. Inventory, schminventory. Earlier on, we talked about the bundle. The addition of the bundle would be a start to helping and fixing a lot of the problems that Minecraft has with storage. But the trail rune structure, in my opinion, is one of the best examples as to how Minecraft's inventory is severely flawed, and maybe needs an update. Last summer, inside of the Minecraft community, talks of an inventory update were all the rage. Fast forward to 1.20 and not too much really happened, unfortunately. If you ever done a little bit of sharding, building, or exploring inside of your world, then you will know just how quickly your inventory can fill up. Now, an inventory update as a whole, that might be a little bit boring, so that would just be one of the small features inside of the update, but it's safe to say that Minecraft's inventory, it could use maybe a refresh. In my opinion, the smithing table is one of the stranger workstations out there. When it was first added in 1.14, it had no use. After that, in 1.16, it got a use, and then in 1.20, it got another new one as well. With the implementation of the smithing temple netherite upgrade thing inside of Minecraft 1.20, it definitely feels like they could take this mechanic and put it onto other things in the game as well. I mean, after all, lads, we're looking at a workstation block that is literally meant to upgrade equipment. But there's only kind of like one equipment, other than trims, that you can upgrade. At some point, there's one thing that is for certain. Minecraft will get new armor. Whether it's in 1.21 or just whenever they update the end, I guess only time will tell. This one is a quick and simple one, and it also throws us back to the development of Minecraft 1.20. At one point, like pretty much right after armor trims were added to the game, people started asking, hey, what about horse armor? We should be able to trim horse armor and make it look even more personalized, customized. And hard agree with that one. At the least, horse armor trim. At the most, more horse armors. After all, with some of the changes that they made to horses and combat inside of Minecraft 1.20.2, these things, horses, are more useful than ever. Next stop of the day, let's send it back over to the Desert Pyramid. Inside of the Desert Pyramid, archaeology stuff, it goes on. Inside of 1.20, archaeology was, of course, added to the game. It definitely kind of feels like there could be more to archaeology, though, right? Now, more to archaeology, it could honestly mean so many different things. It could mean new and better loot that you could find in this archaeology system. Like, for example, what about a trident inside of the ocean ruin? That'd be pretty cool. But maybe even more excitingly, it could just mean more archaeology inside of different structures. Maybe a new structure is added in 1.21, and they incorporate this beautiful system into that structure. I really hope that archaeology isn't one of those systems that they added for an update and then kind of like, just leave it alone. I really hope they come back to it in the future. Next up, the cherry blossom biome. We've got a really quick and easy one. Inside of the cherry blossom biome, there's one of the best flowers in the entire game. Sure, they may be a little bit annoying because they clog up the inventory, but look at how that's placed. Because of this whole 4 flowers on one block thing and the rotational placement of it, the pink petal is one of the most interesting and cool flowers in the entire game. Just like how it is with a candle. Just like how it is with a sea pickle. Imagine a world where they finally make it like that for all the other flowers too. More dandelions on one block, more decoration, tulips, all of them. Whew, that'd be beautiful. Next up, it's all black and white, a painful one. It's almost too hard for me to talk about this one, but armor stands, they're so ugly looking. There's no arms on them on Minecraft to Java, and you can't pose them either. I cut a deal, we had better maps with Bedrock, and armor stands, finally, upgrade them on Minecraft to Java. I mean, look, how hard could that be? Second to last here today, we need to get a little bit abstract with this one. So, the devs, when they add an update, they like to try and balance each update. Say, for example, the Caves and Cliffs update, it added a whole lot of exploration, but also a lot of things to farm, and amethyst geodes, copper, and even more. The Minecraft 1.19 update, with the addition of mud, was a huge farming update. Lots of stuff to farm and changes to new farms, how you can make them. Minecraft 1.20 has like almost nothing to farm. Nothing new. Like, I mean, sure, I guess you could farm the new tree types and farm bamboo and stuff, but like, we're talking brand new features or huge upgrades to farms? Yeah, unfortunately, that's not really there inside of 1.20. Minecraft 1.20 was all about the stories and all about the exploration, not so much about the farming. Taking that into account, I think it's a safe guess to say that inside of Minecraft 1.21, they'll at least be a little bit more focused on farmers and farms and things like that. Now, specifically, what could they be? Well, I guess we got 2 more weeks. And so, lads and laddies, everybody, that brings us to the very final entry, 30 updates that could be in 1.21 here today. Wait, what's that? Why in the world am I building an end portal frame right here in the middle of the birch forest? And following that up, why am I taking Eye of Ender and placing them inside of the portal, eventually activating it? And then why did I jump in? Okay, look, there's no way that I can't do it. If we're going to talk about things that could be in 1.21, legally, for legal reasons, I need to talk about the end. Of course, inside of the end, there's so much potential. We're talking a better dragon fight. Heck, maybe a better starting island. Or what about maybe the end city? As a structure, the end city is pretty fire. But what about all the space around it? I made a rule at the beginning that this video would not talk about just all end update stuff because, to be honest, the whole video could have been end update things. The end dimension, it needs an update. So bad. So what do you think? What's one more update that you'd like to see in 1.21? You let me know down below. If by chance you're new to this channel here, hi, how you doing? My name is watl. You're going to want to subscribe. When Minecraft Live happens real soon here, we'll all have a recap summary video talking about all of the big announcements on the same day. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been me, watl, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.